Just when you thought the Sonic Generations remaster news, there's also other news to talk about, wouldn't get any crazier, it just got crazier today. So we're going to get into all this stuff. Don't want to waste your time. Let's get into the news. But before we do that, subscribe to the channel with all notifications. I'll give you a second. And let's get into the news. Sonic Generations has a new name, potentially. A new website is up. Let's talk about it. So, just to give you guys a timeline, the other day I talked about a leak that said a Sonic Generations remaster might potentially come at a PlayStation State of Play. And then the very next day, not even 24 hours after that was leaked out, a PlayStation State of Play was officially confirmed. So basically, someone has some level of inside information about a Sonic Generations remaster or something to do with Sonic coming to the PlayStation State of Play. By the way, there's also 3 new Sonic games that leaked out as well. So we'll talk about those in a second. But first, let's get into the big news because we're probably going to get a big reveal for this tomorrow. I will be streaming, so make sure to turn on notifications and check that out. Well, let's just get into everything real quick. So here we go. We're on Twitter right here. And this person right here talked about this, I guess, actually 2 days ago. So they said SXSG. All right, so this is the tweet, and it says, regarding the Sonic game, from what I know, it is likely titled Sonic X Shadow Generations. Now, this leaked out, when was this? This was a little bit earlier today that this happened, and this was the original tweet for just catching some of you guys up to speed. It says, Sonic will live in the shadow of his generation. So that is the tweet that set everyone off to thinking that we're getting a Sonic Generations remaster. At first, I was like, you know what? A Sonic Generations Ultimate or whatever, like, is that something that we really need? Maybe. I was thinking about it, and I had some people in my comments inform me that, hey, you know, it's not really accessible on the PlayStation. It's obviously not for Nintendo Switch. So there is a case for the game to be remastered or remade or something like that. But honestly, I don't think it's the best decision because think about it. I mean, at least like 50% of the player base could get the game for cheaper, right? They're probably going to charge 40 or, you know, if it's Sonic and Shadow Generations, they're probably going to end up charging 60 for this thing. Like if it's just a straight up Sonic Generation remaster, then, you know, it's probably not that cool, right? Like I personally am not going to buy it if it's just Sonic Generations remaster. But now with all this news, it seems like there's going to be additional content added to the game. Now, we don't know what that's going to be, but we know that Sonic Movie 3 is coming this year, right? So maybe they're going to want to get a game that's positively well received, slap Shadow in the marketing campaign, and call it a day. I think it makes a ton of sense. But here we go. Here's the big news. So this guy who leaked out the Sonic Fall Guys mobile game or whatever that we talked about a couple weeks ago, this person said some other stuff today, but this person also said that, again, just double confirming that the game is called Sonic X Shadow Generations, and apparently there's a website registered for it. It's a 403 error, which apparently means that this website domain actually exists. So I don't know. Is it going to be a Sonic Generations remaster? It seems like that's all signs are pointing towards that, but with additional Shadow content. So it says the request is blocked if you try to go onto this website. This is gaining a lot of traction on Twitter. All the normal, you know, usual suspects that like Sonic content are engaging with it. I don't know if this means, I guess this means that it's coming, right? Sonic X Shadow Generations is what the game is going to be called. And this suggests that it's going to be a little bit more significant than the typical remaster, you know, just slap all the old levels on, you know, put 60 FPS on some of the certain platforms and call it a day, right? Now, I'm actually compelled to buy this game because this was going to be a hard sell for me. I already have Generations and it runs buttery, silky smooth on my computer, but now I'm like, all right, I'm actually thinking about buying this. So, you know, what could this game entail? Obviously, we're gonna have Shadow probably playable in the Sonic levels, I would imagine, right? Like, I hope it's not just like a reskin situation. Maybe they can add additional story, maybe they can add additional levels. What instantly comes to mind when I think of Shadow being, you know, first of all, featured as a title character, like it's Sonic and Shadow Generations. I think about certain Shadow levels being playable, like levels from Sonic Adventure 2, potentially Shadow 05, and maybe Shadow 06. Those are like the 3 major mainline Sonic games where Shadow was playable and had his own campaign. So I would imagine, in addition to getting him as a skin, and probably there's going to be a lot of cosmetics and skins and stuff like that. Clearly, we know Sega likes doing that with all the mobile games, Sonic Speed Simulator and stuff like that. I would imagine those 3 games are going to be games that we get some levels from, potentially. Maybe the BioLizard boss, I think he was a boss in the 3DS version of Generations. Radical Highway was in it. So I think when it comes to Shadow content, there's definitely there's definitely gonna be some material. I'd love to see them also maybe put in new Sonic levels, like Emerald Coast was in the 3DS version. You know, there's some good levels that they could pull from. Again, 3 new levels. Is that really gonna sell me on the game? I don't know. I would really like additional content, just more stuff to sink my teeth into. You know, 3 shadow levels is probably enough to get me to buy it. I'm a Sonic YouTuber. I have to cover the game. It's gonna be a hard sell for me. So we're gonna see exactly how much they add. They're gonna reveal it tomorrow, most likely. So that's gonna be that. And you know what, this might be the only Sonic game we get this year, other than like the mobile games and stuff like that. So this might be it. I'm actually now interested in buying it. All that's left to do is figure out the big reveal tomorrow and see how much content they add to the game. I hope that they handle this correctly, because a lot of people are concerned that we're getting yet another Sonic remaster. We don't want it to be half-baked. We don't want it to look bad. We don't want any glitches or anything like that. We don't want another Sonic Colors Ultimate situation. A lot of the fan base is very concerned. I think that, how can you mess this up, right? I think that this game is already for PC. It's already been for like some of those more advanced platforms, unlike a Sonic Colors, which maybe needed more work to be brought up to speed. I don't know. I don't know how any of this stuff works, but everyone's concerned about it. I'm a little less concerned that there's going to be more content, because that was the one thing I was concerned about. Like, why would I buy Sonic Generations when I already have it? If you needed any more evidence that it might be Sonic Generations, there's a big sale for Sonic games on Steam, and you'll notice one of the games that's missing from this lineup of games that are for sale is Sonic Generations. So guys, if you don't have Generations for Steam, the original game, you're going to want to go buy it, because you're not going to want to miss out on 13 years of mods, and maybe even continue mods in the future. So keep that in mind. Like, the new game will probably have de novo and stuff like that. You're going to want to pick up the base Generations as soon as you can. Next up, really quick, since we've covered all the Sonic X Shadow Generation stuff, we could go into more depth, but we're going to find out tomorrow. So there's really nothing else to talk about with respect to that, because the official news is about to come. New Sonic mobile games are in development, and apparently one of them is going to feature Chao. Let's get into the news real quick. The same leaker who talked about the Sonic Fall Guys game and just leaked out the Sonic X Shadow Generations logo, this person also said, hold up, so this person leaks out apparently reliably and accurately Sega information they've done, like I think the Yakuza titles or something like that, I don't know, or Persona, I forgot what it was. So here we go. A Sonic Chao game and a new Sonic Sports title are both currently in development for mobile devices. Sonic Fall Guys title will release at the start of the summer, so we're gonna be eating good, all right? Like, we're gonna be eating really good. It also says none of the titles I've discussed are in development by Rovio, but various collaborations with Rovio are planned in the future. The Sonic Chao title will be exclusive to Netflix, and the Sonic Sports title will be exclusive on Apple Arcade. There will be mobile streaming platform exclusive titles in the future too. Now, this is something that is 100% true, and well, I'll tell you, this is what's 100% true. Sega is developing Sonic mobile games. That is a verifiable, undisputable fact. Now, what the games are, I don't know. You know, we're just kind of looking on Twitter and piggybacking off of reliable leakers for the information, but if this is the case, it's kind of an L. You know, Netflix, I have Netflix, I have Apple Arcade, but obviously not everyone's gonna be able to play these games, especially the Sonic Chao title being exclusive to Netflix is gonna hurt. All right, people, for the first time in a long time, not being able to play the Chao Garden or whatever it's gonna be, it might not be a Chao Garden, that's gonna hurt. And then the Sonic Sports game, I don't think as many people care about it, but exclusive to Apple Arcade is obviously gonna alienate some people. Luckily, the Fall Guys game, which I think has the most potential out of all 3 of those games, is the one that's going to be multi-platform. So it looks like we're absolutely winning. By the way, Sonic Mania is gonna be coming to Netflix too, so we're gonna be getting like a lot of Sonic content, but how much of it is really substantial, you know what I mean? I don't know. We're gonna have to see what the scope of these mobile games are. The Sonic Sports game might be good though, because it's on Apple Arcade. It'll at least be like high quality, so we might have a lot of content to sink our teeth into this year. Crazy news. Let me know what you guys think about the Generation stuff, the 3 mobile games. Like, let me know what you guys think about all this. I'll see you guys tomorrow on stream. Peace out.